Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. This is episode 71. So this episode's playing right tackle for the Bengals because that is what that number does throughout history. I mean, of course, we got future Hall of Famer Willie Anderson at 71, but La'el Collins wore it, Riley Reef wore it, Andre Smith for a long time. And if you're an old timer in the 70s, Rufus Mays wore 71 for like 8 seasons for the Bengals. So it's a good number. And it's if we take a right tackle here somewhere in the first round or second round in 2024, give him number 71. Seems like you got good odds with that. But we're going to talk about tight ends and then the hip drop tackle at the end of the episode. So first, tight ends. And it's because Ja'Tavion Sanders, as we're finishing pro days and all of these numbers are finishing up, Ja'Tavion Sanders out of Texas gets his final relative athletic score, puts him in the 56th percentile, which is just an average athlete for the tight end position. Historically, you want fast, athletic tight ends. If you're looking for a future tight end one, and I'm talking like a big time receiver, well, Ja'Tavion Sanders falls in a bucket now that makes him a riskier selection to become a tight end one type. There's been a lot of talk the last couple of weeks that this may be the case with Sanders, that maybe second round was somewhere where he's been overvalued. And if you just watch the last mock draft I did, we took him at 49. And that these rumors and reports and rumblings are that he's more of a third round pick. And after seeing the score and matching it up with our spreadsheet and the numbers we do and the draft guide that we put together, it also agrees. It knocks Ja'Tavion Sanders out of the top few elite tight ends. There's not many in this class. This class, we were warned, would be weak at tight end. I think we saw in free agency everyone get a little bit of a bump in pay. Same with running back, I would say, in this class and in free agency. But with tight end, that leaves just a couple guys in the elite category. And we may see Theo Johnson and Jared Wiley get drafted ahead of a couple of these guys I'm going to talk about. But I don't know if they should be. And we've done a film review on Ja'Tavion Sanders. So if you want to see that, you can find it. It's one of the earlier ones we did. I really liked him. I thought he would be a strong second round selection. Jaheim Bell was the other one who grades really, really highly, but he's 6'2". Those guys don't typically get drafted very high at all. The bucket for 6'2" tight ends is not very strong. And I can see him being more of a fourth, fifth round pick, but I think a creative team and a creative offense. And I love Jaheim Bell. All the different things you can do with him. We did a video on him as well. So if you want to scroll back and look for that, I think that one was a lot of fun. And you could find creative ways to use him in this offense, no doubt. So if Brock Bowers isn't the pick at 18, if he's gone before the Bengals are on the clock at 18, what are your chances of getting a tight end one out of this draft class? Well, it's very low. And it leaves you just with one player. And that's who we're going to focus on today. And that's Ben Sinnott of Kansas State, a guy that has the production data, the athleticism data, and the film looks really good. So let's dive into the film before we talk about some of that production, some of that data, and where we expect him to go right now. We're looking at Ben Sinnott here versus Alabama. This is from 2022, so a year ago. Well, depending on how you want to look at that. But former walk-on, wears a fullback number because that's the way he started, and that will set the stage for some of the grit we will see out of Ben Sinnott as the yellow arrow lands on him. Now, this is a 35-minute video, so it shows every single play. This isn't a highlight video. I will skip past the plays where he's not involved, but these film cut-ups, if you're looking for them, look up Caddy's cut-ups on Patreon, and they'll have cut-ups of every single player that's out there. Maybe not a lot of games to watch from, but at the end of the day, they will give you what you need. Okay, so Ben Sinnott, back to it. Right here, number 34, he's got to block the end. You're going to see initially he's going to get launched back pretty well, but he's going to be able to maintain his block there. You see him get forced back, and that looks like a D tackle to me, 47, to be honest with you. So does his job. He gets good scores from PFF in terms of run blocking. So you see him there again, moving off the line in motion as a tight end, going out to the flats, staying on his feet after the catch, and going down the sideline. He gets good marks after the catch. He's got good marks in terms of receiving, contested situations, overall his hands, and you will see that. And this is a year ago again, so he gets a little bit better his final year. Don't let the number 34 fool you. He's definitely the size of a tight end. Even if it's feel like tight ends are getting a little bit smaller. They're not the 6'6" guys we used to see, the downfield dunkers, even though the Bengals have one now and Mike Gesicki. You don't see those guys too often. They're more going to be molded like this, like the Sam Laporta size of 6'4" and some change, 245 to 255, that can stretch vertically, run after the catch, and threaten downfield. Doesn't hit anyone there. We'll keep it moving. So I've only watched he's in pass pro there. We'll keep it moving. I've only watched the YouTube cut ups of Ben Sinnott. We may get one in order to get a better feel for him quickly. But well, this is my first time watching the film of him, the actual film. It took a while for us to get cut ups of Sinnott. And that's why I haven't mentioned him or talked about him too much yet, other than what I've watched and graded on my own here. He's coming in as tight end 2 in this class. Blocking, I think that's Dallas Turner over there, chopping him, cutting him. See him get off that press and run upfield to our right here. Got to work through some traffic. He ends up, I want to say, with 8 targets in this game, so they're coming. We've got 1 so far. Blocking, kind of misses his block, right? Watch him come up from this position here. He's going to come up here, and I want to say he's going to insert and try and block 10, if I saw that correctly the first time. And he just overshoots a little bit there. You've got to time that correctly, match his speed. He's out closest to us. Don't need to see the route run. We can keep it moving. Coming all the way back across in the flats. Nope, don't want it. We're going to go deep. And we're going to let that ball fly. Doesn't pertain to us. Let's keep it moving on Ben Sinnott. To the right, off the line here is a move tight end. It's going to help block that D end. A guy who's probably a top 10 pick in this class. Let's see how he holds up. So he's got to get in front of Turner here. He's going to get help because this guy's going to hit him first, but you got to wrap around him, wrap around your tight end help, and then get in front of the D end. And there, you're in good position there. Now hold on for dear life. Get tripped up just a little bit by the right tackle, but you just need him to hold on. We're talking about a round 2 or 3 tight end versus a top 10 defensive end pick. Okay, we got an out route catch here versus off coverage. Benson at the top of the screen. He's going to come up. He's going to run right into his guy and then push off and get to the boundaries and out route here about 10 yards. Something to say about, getting contact and not really threatening a guy to open his hips up, right? We've seen this before when we watch receivers and tight ends. Can you fake a little bit this way? Can you threaten this way in order to get that corner to back out, get that safety to back out? If not, you're going to have to run through contact at the top of the route. As you see there, it turns into a physical thing. And then we get a nice clean push off and then hands, toes, sideline. You may say, well, they're going to call that. And they may. They don't call it often, and you watch film and there are a lot of push-offs that happen versus physical coverage, especially versus like off catch coverage like this, which what I would call it, where the DB is just sitting and like holding his ground, right? He's not giving up. He has the right to that space. Kind of like setting a pick or absorbing a charge in basketball. But you also have the right to run your route there and be on the right timing. So it causes contact. It causes some physicality at the top of the route, and guys have to fight through it on offense and defense. We get our hands, we drag, toe tap. It's a nice catch. That's catch number 2 on this film. Ben Sinnott motioning to the backfield, being the lead blocker here out of shotgun, lands his target, does a good job. These are things I think you can do with him. Have him lead block right up the middle here. Get out, get on that linebacker, makes contact that time. Deuce Vaughn almost makes number 2 miss to make that a bigger run. But these are blocks the Bengals will also. These are runs and plays the Bengals will also run. So we got a miss here for Ben Sinnott. So far we've been hit or miss here. And this is going to be the toughest tape you're going to watch. That's why I'm watching Alabama from a year ago. Because anytime Alabama's on the schedule, we're going to try and see if we can find it. I think he helps out here, climbs up and tries to get in front of 32 here, if I remember correctly. Let's let it roll and see if that was right. So there's tries to help on 47. 47 goes inside even further, which brings Sinnott in even further. And then he can't get out there, and 32 does a good job of playing it and reading it correctly and getting to the hole before Ben Sinnott can adjust. Like I said, anytime you get Alabama, I'm watching that tape, even if it's a year old. I want to see, can you match the speed, physicality, the power that they play with? And we're talking, most of their guys are out there going to be 4 and 5 star guys that are coached up really well. The strength program has always been great under Nick Saban. So I went back too far. All right, so Sinnott is, okay, the close tight end, just trying to get enough of that far side D end, and Deuce Vaughn is off to the races. 5-4 dive touchdown. Man, Deuce Vaughn, he didn't do anything his rookie year with the Cowboys. I'm still interested. I still want to see what he'll do because he is so tiny. So this is Sinnott right here. This guy behind 31. 31 was Will Anderson, who went, what, 2 or 3? 3 in the draft last year. So just getting enough of them to make sure Anderson goes to the outside, giving Deuce Vaughn the lane up the middle, and then redirecting and getting back into his face. That's all he was asked to do there for Sinnott. So that's an accomplished block on the backside. So like it's not like he's lead blocking. It's not like he's crucial to the play. He just has to do enough to keep Will Anderson from blowing that up. Will Anderson, who's a very, very, very good run defender too, and was at Alabama. So all right, off the line on the left side. We're blocking again. Does his job again, fighting, staying with it, and he's blocking some big boys. 47's a big dude. He's staying in there. All right, second quarter. Sinnott in motion, going out to the slot. Going to the flats here. He gets a little delayed in his release. He wants to cut behind, so he needs this guy to cleanly get inside, and then he's got to cut behind at a certain depth because that ball, it's a timing throw. The ball's going to come out. You need to be there and at the right depth at the right time. And you can see the little hesitation there. He's a little too long in his break, and the ball is too far outside for him. So a little bit better timing with that guy, that receiver that's on the right side. That's how you get your knee taken out, huh? So that's 3 targets so far. And I think he only catches 3 passes in this game. Doesn't really, when you watch him, it doesn't really look like he's getting vertical very fast. You're going to see a out and up, but he's really not stretching it. And like the benchmark was Luke Musgrave last year in the second round. Like that guy just bursted off the line. You have a high 4.6 athlete here in terms of speed, which is okay, but nothing crazy. You see his athleticism, I think, more after the catch, and he doesn't even look very fast. He's one of those tight ends where it's like, is he really athletic? Is he moving fast? And you're like, yeah, I guess he is because guys are missing him. Guys aren't able to catch him for some reason. Lands his target here on the lead block again. So we've got you get a lot of examples of good blocks. He has a lot of misses in this game as well, but again, he's setting the edge here to allow number 9 to get all the way to the outside. I think that might have been the quarterback. But we're looking at Sinnott right here. So you have to clearly block this D end and set a wall here for your number 9 to get outside and get away from him. If you cannot block this D end, which that's a tough ask, well, this run's not going to work. So here he is, makes contact. You see him snap the helmet of the D end. He's trying to lock him out. The defensive player, the Alabama player, is trying to lock him out and push him, but he is holding on. Man, that back is arched. Those legs are dug in. He is holding on for as best as he can. He does a great job there. Allows the quarterback to run right off his back. It's a really good block. He's all the way in the backfield this time. Can we get a handoff? No, he's going to lead block on a wide. Does he get contact? Oh, he does. Yeah, he makes contact with number 9. That's Jordan Battle. All right, yeah. I was gonna say this is fun. I forgot we've got some players here. Yeah, that was a mess. It was a mess overall. I like the design and the idea of it, and the fact that he can get out in front from the back side, from the back being the furthest guy back. So they've got again here 3 guys in the backfield. Oh God. So we want to throw this in the trash. K State. It's not working against Bama. They're all over it. Should be our to our right, and this should be a 3rd and long situation. He's going to help chip a little bit and then get to the flats. You could have hit him if you wanted to. Instead, we may have gotten this first down here. So just a little chip from Sinnott. I want to watch it on the right side here. All he really wants to do is force this guy back to 73. He does his job there. Even without making contact, force him back to your rusher. Don't give him that wide open space to play to your blocker, I meant to say. Don't give him that wide open space to get him to toy with your offensive lineman, especially against Alabama, right? We don't need all that. Ain't nothing really there. 8 minutes to go on the second. I end up almost in the backfield. You should have known he was coming across. Pass protection. Play gets out wide. Does his job coming across. He's got the hardest part here is getting all the way across, getting your eyes on the right guy as he and Deuce Vaughn are both going to help and take that DN that they're leaving unblocked as the O-line is shifting to the right. Sinnott in the slot to the right on a 3-by-1 formation. Yeah, out route. Yep. Got him. Is that a catch? That is a catch. All right, good. Man, this should have been you could tell it was going to be an out route. Bengals run this. That's why I was saying it as it was happening. Because you only end up with 2 defenders out on this way. And if they carry these guys going deep, you should be able to run that very easily. So they all follow the outside receivers. That ball comes out right now. You hit him while he's still standing. I mean, that's how you run. Jordan Battle's the free safety there. It'd be a nice matchup of those two running. Now let's see if this gets challenged or not. Are they at the 40 on the next play? And see if they overturn it. They're calling it a catch on the field. It's one of the things about watching film is you never get to tell. If we were watching the TV cut up, they would show us for sure. Yeah, they're at the 40, so they called it. Good. Unless they buzz down right now. He's in the slot to our left. Closest to us, I guess. If you're defensive minded, that'd be to your right. Wheel route. Yep. Running a fake screen. All right. 2nd down from the 40. What's Bama doing? He's in the slot to our left again. Blocking. Oh, the quarterback kept it. We're going to get a 3rd and long situation again. So we should see him get a route here. Where is he? All the way wide left. We got a 3-by-1 formation, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He's isolated on the left. Let's see what you can do. Tries to stagger his release. He's going to cut inside. No doubt in my mind. Just to stop. Hey, they almost get the first down here. If not, they're super close. What was this, a run? Did he hand it off to Vaughn? But he was Sinnott was locked up pretty much on that. Oh, the quarterback checks it down here. 85. Okay. 4th and 1. Sinnott to our left. Let's see him get a block here, huh? Oh, nice play. Well, Chiefs corn dog there, sort of. He's blocking, needs to hold up just enough for the quarterback to get outside, and we're throwing nowhere. 5 minutes to go in the second. The next game I got queued up is much more exciting, so I'm gonna try and go a little something different with that. All right, good block on 10. Really good block by Sinnott because he's got to hold this longer than I think he expected to. So Ben's here. He's going to climb up and get to number 10. And he's got to hold it while Deuce Vaughn does a little dance here. Good contact. You see his Sinnott's higher than the defender. Normally that'd be a bad situation, but he's able to regain his footing and stay in front. And even there, he's rolling with it. Really turn that linebacker outside or inside. So that's a good block. Blocking that corner out there. Again, doing a good job, making contact. Of the move tight ends and the guys that are expected to be, and here he is out here if you didn't see where he was. This is him blocking a DB out in space. Of the guys that are the receivers, he's probably the best blocker. And a lot of these guys typically aren't great blockers when they're receiving types, but he's to our right this time. But he's a decent blocker, and you can do it in a lot of different ways. Like he's on the line of scrimmage right now, gonna help, and then release over the middle. Let's go. So good play action play here. First down and goal. Ben Sinnott to our right. He's going to block here, really make it look like it, and then release up the middle of the field. And I don't know if this is an RPO or not, or if it's just play action. They're looking for a play here. Jordan Battle, number 9, middle of the field there. I feel like we watched this game last year when we did Bengals on the Brain, huh? Because we're watching Jordan Battle. Takes that hit, turns away from it. This is something I talk about with receivers all the time. We haven't done too many receiver profiles this year. I don't think at all. No, we did Brian Thomas. So we've got more coming actually for day 2, day 3, because I think they'll do it. When you can turn your body in the air, so you're going this way and then you leap, right? And the ball's on your back half. To be able to contort your body in the air, a lot like how Chad Johnson used to do it, but then to also shield yourself from the defender that's coming in. Just watch here. After he makes a hand grab with that ball, he turns his back to that number 2 coming over. And that may just be the result of that particular play, but you'll see it on fades a lot with receivers, how they'll jump up, grab it, and turn their body midair to shield themselves from the defender so that they can't come in and knock the ball out. Put your back to them, extend that ball. Whew, that was dead on arrival, huh? Second down and 11, second and goal. And it looks like we're going to be inside the 5 here. I remember this play because I remember specifically Jordan Battle not running this out. I'll try and skip it. Okay, 2 minutes left in the second. We're in a third and goal situation. Can we block that edge? That guy gets in there and ends up making the tackle or helping make the tackle. Sinnott on the right side here. And the run's going to the left, so he's just trying to get fast out in front of this guy and wall him off. But man, you see that right there? You see the arm getting underneath the shoulder pad? He's lifting Sinnott off the ground there and blowing him up inside. There's Sinnott facing the ground, eating dirt. And here comes 41 to come help make. He doesn't even make the stop, but he helps that pile and that traffic get much more dense for tiny Deuce Vaughn to get through. Fourth down. Sinnott on the line, blocking. We get him the release. You got to give it to him. Oh, he was open. He's open right here. Will Anderson diving on the ground. Just give it to him. Where are you throwing that? To the front pylon? You missed, quarterback. That's a shame. That pump got him. That pump got the quarterback. Got his feet off the ground. He messed that up. All right, third quarter. Oh, just gets enough of the end. Is that Will Anderson? You can see him come all the way across from our left here just to get a shoulder into Anderson, enough to get Deuce Vaughn through that crack. And if the left tackle wasn't staring at the running back, maybe we would have been all right there. Stay involved and make a block, right? Trying to get him to leak out the backside here on a boot. Let's see how far outside of his frame was this ball thrown, because we've seen a couple now where they're outside of his frame, one-hand situations to the flats, right? We had one earlier on the slant flat, the dragon. Looks like he's the point man here on a 3 wide receiver bunch to our right, bottom of the screen. Nice clean cut at the top of the route. So that should put us at what, 5 targets now? 3 catches? No, 6 targets and 3 catches. Can't get the block. We got a jet sweep here. You've got to be able to get this block, Ben. He's at the tight end spot right here to our right. He's going to go out wide. And he just can't get out there fast enough. I think there's not his fault here. There's confusion at the receiver spot there. Pulling him around. Lead blocker. I mean, follow him. If you're going to follow him, 31. Cut off of him. You're going to see him put his hand on him. Like, all right, here you go. Go get in front. Okay, 9. Battle should be inside. Now he's going to go and get the corner. You're going to go inside on that? That's a weird decision, 31. He had him lined up. If anything, tease him inside and bounce out. That's probably why he wasn't the starting running back. Some blocking, downfield, not much there to write home about. We look like we're about 10 minutes out on this game. See how many more targets he gets. Is that him? That guy's running a different speed. No, that's not him. That's the wrong arrow on him. I don't do the arrows here. Sinnott is actually here. So watch this guy, not where the yellow arrow is. Releasing vertically. The play's blown up. Quarterback's rolling. Looking for anything. Looking for some help. He's lined up at tight end to our right. We got a good arrow that time. Good job getting in front of 93. That's a big dude for you to come and hit under the shoulder pads and stonewall. Watching Sinnott on the left side here. He's going to get in front of 93 and bang, and then wall him off. Stopped him in his tracks. It's a really good job. We've got a lot of examples of quality blocking here. Same. All right, so we've seen this before, right? Last time they had a third down, we got vertical, deep out. Watch Alabama. They're ready for this. Why? Alabama's so tough. Like, all right, this time we're going to run it again. No, you're not. We are all over that one. We're not letting that happen again. That ball is picked off. You want to throw that. One guy cutting underneath, one guy over the top. Yeah, good luck. And what that does is leave the middle of the field wide open. Well, that's how it goes. Let's see. Gets around number 10. Good job, 31. Working through that. Good job by the quarterback, too. They're all over Sinnott's route, but maybe that was by design. Maybe they knew they were going to cover that. Oh, this would have been a... So we got a angle route here for Sinnott. You're going to run it like you're going to go this way, but at some point here, when you can get the defender to overcommit to the outside, is when you cut it back against the grain in front of him, And hopefully you got a window over the middle of the field that you can take advantage of as a quarterback. So let's watch Sinnott. Bend it outside. He's really got to really convince. And if he can throw by here, because this guy's trying to make contact, throw him upfield or throw him by and then cut underneath him, which he does. This should be open. I mean, imagine if he catches that right, in this area, he could potentially run up and get that for split safety coverage. And that ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. So it could have been an opportunity there for a big gain. Maybe touchdown. Oh, yeah, 91 gets right in his face. Second down from the 20. We should have one more target for Sinnott in this game, and that should be it. We can move on because we've seen enough blocking, I think. So here's an example of he versus Jordan Battle. Sinnott versus Jordan Battle. He's got to climb up. We're here. Help climb all the way up there and get the safety. The more space you give some of these guys to block, the harder it becomes in a lot of ways. So just one little hand to help there as we're going to get Deuce Vaughn to bounce outside. And because Vaughn is bouncing outside and going this way, Battle goes this way. Even though you can see by Sinnott's posture and his shoulders, he's expecting Vaughn to more be like this. So let's see how that affects everything. Battle does a great job of getting under, planting with this foot, and then jumping inside. That's a really, really high-end play by Jordan Battle. Because a lot of guys would take extra steps if they take the path of least resistance there and try and go around the blocker. Sometimes it takes them too many steps and they can never recover. But not there. Does a really good job of planting, driving, getting back inside. All right, 3rd and 5 from the 10. Sinnott in motion. He's going to help. Nope. He's going to release to the flats. And we've got a fade ball. Caught, touchdown. Oh, no. McKinstry's saying it was not. Yeah, you see it drop at the ground. Okay, we got one more target for Sinnott, then we're going to move on when we get it, whenever that is. If it's late in the 4th, we may get our patience may run out. Nothing there going on. (35-13) Bama over K-State. Sorry to my K-State fans that would like to watch better tape. They had a lot of wins over the last few years. Joe, why do you got to play the Alabama game? Well, sorry. They're the standard. You want to see them against Alabama. I mean, the quarterback's running for his life on that. Gets to his block on there. More often than not, he's getting to his block. We did have, 3 missed blocks here or, challenging blocks. Go outside. Got it. Oh, out and up. And incomplete. That's a bummer. So this is the last target for him. And I really thought it was an out route. He sold this really well, leaning into the inside, or that's really how you can tell when a guy's going to break it off sometimes. But he really leans into it. And then I'm like, okay, out route. So you see that out route there, leans it upfield. And I don't know if he tracks this well or what happens here. Let's see it on the end zone angle. The Sinnott's right here. Let's watch his release. And here's the deep ball. Tracking it over to the outside. Oh, that is perfect ball placement, man. If I can go back just far enough, here we go. See if I can pause it when it hits his hands. Gotta be honest with you, it's a little bit of a knock here. If you can't, this is tough. This is a tough ball to catch, honestly, but this is the job, right? That is the requirement to be able to catch these balls, and you just unable to there. So we got a better game queued up here. We're going to switch from this one. I want to see as many targets as possible, digest as much as we can on the next video. So I said I'd have a game queued up here that would be a lot of fun. Iowa State actually had a really good team and has had a really good defense, especially in college the last few years. But Ben Sinnott in this game is going to get 13 targets have 10 catches, 136 yards, and a touchdown. So we'll run through this pretty quickly. Because if you go to YouTube and type in any player's name and then type in versus, it's the fastest way to get an idea of what these guys can do. So there's Ben Sinnott right there for us, his last game of the year in 2023. Just goes and sits. You see right away, right? The first thing he does is he releases and sits down right here. You have an Iowa State defender that drops into the vision on this side. So what Ben's going to do is he's going to slowly slide into the window that's going to be between these defenders. This is like Travis Kelce level stuff, right? I mean, it's normal. It's what you expect for a tight end, but this is what you want to see. And as he drifts back into the open area, makes himself a wide open target for his quarterback. I mean, may look like a normal average play, but that is what we're looking for. And now we're going to set up some traffic inside here and release Ben Sinnott to the flat and let's see him run after the catch. And by the way, as you can see, a lot of snow out there. These guys aren't going to look as fast and as quick, but still a fun game to watch for him as he catches this ball in the flat here. Nice transition, right? You see the way he turned, caught it, flipped upfield. Mark of an athlete. Making a couple guys miss after the catch as well. If you didn't see him before the snap, he was right here. He's released up this way. He's going to run a corner route, it looks like, from the near side closest to us. These guys had great, or we got the same play here again. It's basically you run a screen from this side where everyone's going to block, and then you release the other tight end to block this way, or sometimes the left tackle. And then Sinnott's just going to go to the flat, turn, and catch this ball. Watch him as he catches it, transitions into a runner. The transition from a receiver to a runner is a key thing for tight ends to be yak players. Tunnel screen. Go back 5 seconds here so you can see it at the right proper time. So he's in the slot completely, right? Tunnel screens when you come back. So you're gonna sometimes you'll fake this way and then come back, and it allows the lineman to pull out in front and set up the tunnel for the screen. Look at that, huh? Making guys miss, running through. Guys are diving, sliding through the snow. This looks awesome. I love snow games. Playing in the snow as a kid. Vertical ball, can't get underneath it there. There he is after the catch again. He's going to cut back against the grain here. He's going to hit his own man, bounce off of him. Out route in the snow, make a guy miss, make another guy miss. Up the sideline. Another one, spin. Okay. This is a really fun play, right? This is what when you watch, you're like, what's his high end upside? As he's got a number one. Let me go back all the way, might as well. As he's got not a number one, as a safety one-on-one directly over him this time. As you can see, here's the safety. He's going to cover him one-on-one here. This guy's actually not covering. You can see how he's looking inside. I bet he does jump inside. I didn't actually look at that previously. Yep, he's coming. So watch Sinnott now as he's got to climb up, eat up this space on the safety, and then run the out route, right? He can round it off because that safety stayed off pretty far from him, as long as the timing's correct. Hands catch with a guy draped on your back, strong enough to stay on your feet. There we go. Now we're making plays. We're making guys miss. We're getting yards after the catch. Another out route hands catch. See him here. He's releasing from the slot. He's going to get up on this safety again and then run to the sideline, catch it away from his body with his hands. Through contact, we saw this when we talked about the Alabama game, right? Because sometimes you got to run through contact on that off coverage. Create separation, which he does, catches the ball away from his body, hands out. on the sideline. And he's yelling to the sideline, they can't cover me. Let's keep it going. Release him into the flats. Make a guy miss. Oh, that could have been another touchdown for him. The next game, real quick, he scores 2 touchdowns in this one against Missouri. Let's keep it rolling and watch him. He's in the backfield there. We get a arrow in this video, which is nice. Do a barrel roll is the video here on YouTube. He's blocking too. We got some blocking reps here, not just the receiving. This will be a good one to watch. Whoa. I don't know what's happening. Ben Sinnott's on the ground here. We'll let this one roll pretty fast this time. It's our third game. We know what he can do. Blocking on the edge for the quarterback. All right, Sinnott coming all the way across. Blocking on the edge. 34. Oh, wow. This is going to Sinnott. High and wide. Good job by the other receiver. He's out wide here, one-on-one. He's going to break back inside. Quarterback had to throw that early. I actually want to go back. I said I was going to let these just roll, but I could tell he was going to lean this one back inside the whole way. Why he takes the inside release and he's fighting, right? You can see. So he goes, takes the inside release, and anytime you try to stem it this way, you can tell he's coming back inside. So he's given away his routes a couple times that we watched him in these 3 games. But the way the pressure is coming here, sometimes you got to be able to feel that as a receiver. Be like, listen, I got to snap this thing off and get to this spot. Maybe a little bit quicker than expected because the blitz is coming. Instead, he releases up. This guy's got his eyes in the backfield. So he sees the ball come inside. That's a bad ball. But the quarterback can do it, or the receiver can do a better job there running and getting to the sticks at the right time and at the right spot. Sinnott getting to the edge. Can he get a block here? Yes, he does. Good job. Fighting through the trash and the traffic and then getting a block. Coming across. He should be open here. Got it. Oof. All right, we go downfield. Give it to him. See, that's what I was talking about. He makes guys miss after the catch. He's good after the catch. Just subtly strong enough, right? Runs through, plays with good balance, good lean. That was the wrong guy. I think they may have targeted here, or unless they're pointing to him coming all the way across, they might be. Blocking, coming across, blocking again. Nope, releasing. Block for the quarterback. Good job. He seems to have really good timing and awareness of where the ball carrier is supposed to be. He gets to these blocks in the open field, second level. He's going upfield. We're vertical this time. And running to the corner and making a guy miss. Give me a replay on this one. He really looked like he was going vertical on this one after his release. So I talked about earlier, he's giving away his routes a little bit. Not this time. The way he hits that right there, that step, because he hesitates here. He looks like he's leaning and then hits the step. Normally, you don't have time to also go again and go to the corner. So he does a long developing play, and he must sell it pretty well. I don't have the film on this one, but good catch away from your body. And then make a guy miss to pick up an extra 10 yards after the catch. And they're still struggling to bring him down. You need all of them. Oh, we've got a flag. Not on Sinnott, on the other tight end. Oh, shovel pass. Solid gain. Former fullback. Not afraid to run it up the middle there. Got him. Good job, Ben Sinnott. Okay, so any of these jump passes that you see, even play actions, that it doesn't have to be a jump pass, but him coming across here and he's got to fight through, fight through, fight through. You got to look like you're blocking so that the guys, all the defenders, kind of run past you and think you're blocking. Good block again. He's blocking really well. Yep, find the open area, first down. Did he drop that? Is that what they're saying? Why did the guy start waving? Yeah. He might have saved an interception on that catch. He had to. Got a penalty. Good block, though, by Sinnott. Let me see that one again. I was worried about the last play. He's got to come up. He's coming up from right here. He's got to get in front of 8, and 8's going to do his damnedest to get over there and get in front of the running back. So let's watch that. So he's a little bit in from the back here. Doesn't look like they call it. Dang, good run. Bam. That's a drop, Sinnott. Let me that back before we go. All right, he's going to release. Man, this is a good throw, too. Good timing as 2 defenders close it between the window here. And it hits him as he's turning. That's a drop by Sinnott. He had 2 touchdowns. Did we watch 2 touchdowns in that game? Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, that's Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott, the former walk-on at K-State, played hockey in high school and was second in his league in penalty minutes. If you want to know what kind of guy you're getting there, I think that says it all. If any of you out there have played hockey in the past and you want those guys on your team, you want them on your side of the fight and of the scrum. But his athleticism puts him in the 97th percentile, his measured athleticism. His GPS data also is really good. His market share adjusted production puts him in the 97th percentile. His missed tackles forced and yak is in the 93rd percentile. We're talking about a guy that's a high-end athlete and producer that's got the toughness and grit you're looking for at the tight end position, and he's a solid blocker as well. This is why he grades out so high for us here as should be a second-round pick. And I wouldn't have any issues with taking him at 49, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people may say, oh, that's a reach or whatever, but I don't see it at all. I see him as a very strong and safe prospect with high upside. This is a guy that I want to take a chance on if the Bengals are interested in a tight end. And will he be there in the 3rd round for you? I don't know. It'd be great if he was. That'd be a great, value meets player. But it may or may not happen. And in a weak tight end class, Sinnott's the guy. He's the prize of the second group. I want to touch on the new rules a little bit, not the kickoff and things like that. We could talk about that another time. There's better people out there talking about that than me. Dan Horde just had Darren Simmons on in his podcast. So go ahead and check that out. But the hip drop, something we did a video on months ago, and it's funny that it was expected, but a lot of people were against it, right? And I don't think a lot of people understand what the hip drop is. It doesn't mean tackling anyone at their hips or at their waist. That's not it. It's dropping your hips and your weight into the runner's legs, which I did a long video on that on Twitter at Joe Goodberry, if you want to find that and look and see some examples. I just used only Bengals players examples and plays and use some of the ones that the league showed at their press conference as examples of hip drop tackles, illegal hip drop tackles. But they did not show the Logan Wilson play against Mark Andrews, and he was vilified for it, and he got threats for it, and the league and the fans were just absolutely terrible and nasty to Logan Wilson about that, and I thought it was illegal as well. But in their rule and in their definition with him hitting the ground first, I guess that wouldn't be. That's at least the way they indicated it to Jeff Hobson, and the Bengals telling media like Pro Football Talk that that was not a penalty afterwards. With Katie Blackburn being high up on the competition committee, she would know. So take that for as you will. But I think it's a little bit of vindication for Logan Wilson. Until next time, on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics, where we're going to have to dive into some of these other running backs that I've been watching lately. Running backs and receivers. Wanted to finish Sinnott before I went to these guys fully, because at this point, that's the majority of the tight ends that we should be hopeful for. Now we can go on to some receivers, which I do think is going to happen within the first 3 rounds. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, and corner in the first 3 rounds, 4 picks. Would not shock me at all. So until then, who dey?
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.